Hello, I'm the Commie,
And I'm the liberal.
And I'm the father.
and this is the third edition of the Commie and the Liberal. Uh,
Actually,
Uh, hey, we want to say the other day, sorry about messing up a little bit. We were having problems because of the weather. So it really kind of, we had to finally, stop what we were doing. What we were doing.
yeah, we had some technical difficulties
actually,
yesterday.
I wanted to just tell you that we've been having a lot of thunderstorms, and there's a tropical storm that's hitting Florida, Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina, and possible Mississippi. Mississippi's under a tropical storm watch until next Wednesday, and Florida, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina is under a tropical storm warning until next Wednesday. The name of the storm is Fred, and it's supposed to bring some dangerous rain, dangerous lightning, winds, hail, and isolated tornadoes and flooding. And another thing is, right now, this is the third edition of the Commie and the Liberal, and and so to let you know, sorry for the technical difficulties yesterday. The thunderstorms messed it up, but
Oh,
I wonder who that was. Someone clicked on it and then clicked off of it for a second.
yes, all of you are more than welcome to share in our, our location right here.
Yeah. So anyway, here's the news from the communist perspective and from the liberal perspective. 815 Florida doctors want DeSantis to lift his school anti-mask law. Uh, Siberian in a special report, Siberian wildfire is now bigger than all other fires in world combined. Get this, Trump Republicans who contested the 2020 election behind the Newsom recall. So that's one question that we will try to answer. Also, we have you quote, you shouldn't just let them go without a fight while the U.S. can't lose its black middle class neighborhoods. And Bill Gates pledges 1.5 billion to climate projects in the infrastructure bill. Is he trying to have better press after both his divorce to Melinda French Gates, and is he as well as his involvement with Jeffrey Epstein? Airbnb revenues jumped 300%, but the company is warning about Delta. And in a clear case of where the Republican Party is, a supporter shouted, "You're wrong," a Trump supporter, and confronts Dan Crenshaw, attacked Dan Crenshaw for refusing to say the 2020 election was stolen, so they attacked him for refusing to lie. Top Senate Democrats urge Biden to take immediate action on home confinement program, and FBI arrests, quote, tunnel commander, unquote, an anti-abortion extremist who fought the cops on January 6th. It's funny how these Republicans and these conservatives, to start with that, attack us for being against the police, supposed, with Black Lives Matter and those other organizations. And at the same time, whenever they are confronted with the police are part of the state, the surveillance state. They're part of the people who are trying to attack us. It shows the hypocrisy of many on the right who think this way. Excuse me. And I think I think it shows just the total big lies of people on that end of the spectrum, political spectrum. What do you have to say about the arrest of this anti-abortion extremist, so-called extremist, who participated in the January 6th attack?
I think the guy that is anti-abortion that just got arrested for the January 6th attack, I say he deserves it. And do you want to know why he deserves it? Because he had no business attacking the Capitol building and killing the police officers. So the guy that's anti-abortion that just got arrested with this, which is part of a terrorist network called the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys, which is Donald Trump terrorist network. It is Donald Trump's terrorist network. And do you want to know why it's Donald Trump's terrorist network? Because Donald Trump told his own terrorist network to attack the Capitol building, and it wasn't necessary on January 6th.
Right.
And 6 people are dead right now, 140 people are injured, and that's not fair.
Let me interrupt for a fast second. I gotta step out for a little bit, take care of a few things. I'll be right back in a matter of minutes. Okay? Thank you, folks.
I'll help. No problem getting up.
Sorry about that. Yeah, our dad has problems getting up sometimes. Well, I don't think he's necessarily wrong for being anti-abortion, but I think just the way he showed off proved that he is wrong. Curse now. But yeah, I think it shows that it could be wrong. And look, absolutely nobody who did January 6th are good. A lot of them are just terrorists and are just really bad, sick people. And they wanted to overthrow democracy because the vote was balanced and was according to what Joe Biden did. He won the election. Frankly, he won the election. And I think this is an attempt by his supporters to undo his electoral prospects. And I think it's wrong to say that Biden is responsible for that. And another thing, the infrastructure bill happened. And we have good news from the communist perspective. The past few years have been great years in the United States, in the U.S. for socialism. And according to, and this came from Fox Business, this article, so it might not be accurate, but quote, a majority of registered Democratic voters now prefer socialism to capitalism, and that is a great thing because we need a better world, a better society where everybody is compensated fairly for their work, for their opportunity, and wages have not moved at all at it for a long time. And I think it shows that we need top money for everyone in this country. And it and I think it shows that just the decline of political capital that's what it shows, that in that socialism is now more popular than capitalism among a lot of people. And I'm proud to say, as a communist, that this is the case.
Oh, by the way,
What do you think, as a liberal, that socialism is now more popular among Democratic voters than capitalism? And maybe we can, uh, how we can use that to pressure Biden to enact a better society in this country.
it's before you say anything else, communist. I think Joe Biden is doing somewhat of a good job with helping people, because Joe Biden is helping people financially, and the stimulus payment went past, but nobody has signed it yet. We haven't heard from Joe Biden that was going to sign it yet. So, but he's supposed to sign the stimulus payment. So, and the stimulus payment, of course, will give people $1,200 if you're single, and of course, $600 each if you're married. And that's how they're doing it with the stimulus payment. Now, I wanted to just tell you that as all of you viewers are watching right now, you could go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Communist and the Liberal. And all you gotta do is click on the subscribe button when on the either the top on the top right or on the top left. And as soon as after you subscribe to it on YouTube, as far as I'm concerned, we will want you to donate $100 for each subscription, and that's what we will want you to do. Now, getting to where, of course, the getting to where, of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
And she was banned from Twitter, in case you haven't heard. But you do have to wonder, are we going to start banning people for making mistakes? Because there are a lot of miscues people have on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, whatever, even here on YouTube. You do have to realize that people have First Amendment rights. And I think it shows that you have to really defend people who have the problems that she had. And it shows that it is wrong more for. Oh, yeah.
By the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene, as far as I'm concerned, was suspended for Twitter for saying was banned from Twitter for saying that these vaccines do not work. In actuality, they do work. We have a new article speaking of vaccines on the vaccine against the Delta variant. The vaccine is only 42% effective against the Delta variant. We found that out yesterday. So that's not very good. So definitely, and sooner or later, even the people that don't have underlying health conditions will have to get the booster shot because the second dose isn't as effective as the booster shot. The booster shot's 100% effective. Second dose now dropped down to 42% effective because of the Delta variant. And that's why people are having breakthrough cases of COVID because the vaccine isn't as effective as it was before the Delta variant. The only way we can stop those variants, and even Dr. Fauci would tell you, is to shut down the whole planet until 100% of the population's fully vaccinated. And as soon as after that happens, then we can reopen the planet. But until that happens, we're going to have to shut down the planet. Because otherwise, we're going to have more COVID-19 variants. There's going to be more waves of the virus, hundreds of thousands of deaths, and hundreds of thousands of new cases. Hundreds of thousands of people in the hospital with COVID and they're not vaccinated. Or a breakthrough case because the vaccine isn't as effective as the booster shot. And also, what we also need to do is get every single Republican that is with Trump and line them all up and put all of the Republicans that are with Trump behind bars. They all need to be arrested for doing false information on the vaccine.
They do. So many on the right deserve to be prosecuted for this because if you look at all of those right politicians, they are being wrong on everything, and especially whether it be capitalism, the economy, whether it be the environment, and now look at how they're handling coronavirus. They've done such a poor job. Trump handled the virus about as worse as anybody could. And you see moron DeSantis handling it so bad as well. And I think what's needed, what happens today says today, total mind there is this. You have to go and make positive this fact that right-wing political figures are trying to screw the people every day. And it's wrong to say that there should be cover there. And I would defer to my liberal colleague here and ask him, what do you think about the 812
Yes.
Mass students who are opposing DeSantis right now.
I think what the 812 students that all wearing masks in school and how the opposing DeSantis is that they're saying right now that it's great that DeSantis finally made a mask mandate earlier today, but he should have done it months ago, not right now. If you were done it months ago, it would have saved hundreds of thousands of lives. And it's as simple as that. So he waited too damn long to issue the mask mandate. I'm glad he issued it, but he should have done it months ago. It's just as simple as that.
Yes, I agree. And I think it shows that Ron DeSantis, he showed poor leadership on almost anything, and this is included when it comes to the show. And we pointed out on this show that DeSantis has absolutely no idea what a governor should do, has no idea what a governor should do in the event of a crisis. And I think he showed poor leadership every since time there is. And I think it's wrong to say that DeSantis is a hero, and it's crazy how some of his delusional supporters, who are just as delusional as Trump supporters, or in many cases they all are Trump supporters, how they have just poor leadership and are just so delusional with those minds and the way they are. And I think it's clear that they are the right. And what is their agenda? You have to question that. Are they trying to initiate, like Hitler, a fourth Reich of the world? Maybe they are. What did you think about this?
I think about people that support Adolf Hitler, as far as I'm concerned, are evil as hell. And I think what they should do, as far as I'm concerned, if anybody has a business and they support Adolf Hitler, because some people have businesses that support Adolf Hitler, we need to close down those businesses. And do you want to know why we need to close down those businesses? Because they support slavery.
Any business or any organization counter that supports neo-Nazism and and all those other stuff, you have to look at big businesses like, for example, Amazon. They allow selling of neo-Nazi content track under their watch. Should we be supporting businesses like that? I say no. And we should not be supporting capitalist cycle like Amazon, like Target, and so many other who try to support these companies, they just have too much to spare uh, when this crisis. And I think it's wrong to support those types of companies. And anybody who supports fascist vitriol is wrong in any way.
And so to let you know, people, we believe in First Amendment rights. If all of you are watching, and if any of you people that are conservative Republicans that are with Trump that don't believe in First Amendment rights, then those people shouldn't watch a show if they don't like it. But of course, if they like First Amendment rights, you could go ahead and watch our show. But we believe in First Amendment rights, not slavery, not racism, and not Nazism. And it's not registering to the conservative Republicans that are with Trump that nobody believes in that type of stuff.
It's wrong to be as racist and as evil as anybody can be. And that is what this problem can take C. It shows just as much how good left is left best and right is wrong.
And speaking of right wing, that's wrong as far as I'm concerned, and left wing is good. We had an article yesterday on a majority report. The guy, of course, is a liberal Democrat just like I am. He said yesterday that if the Republicans or any Republican that is with Trump and that supports racism or does not follow the CDC
Don't
guidelines.
they all? I mean, you can't really call yourself a non. Can you really call yourself a non-racist and support a guy like Donald Trump? I think if you go back to the fascist politicians in history, George Wallace, Storm Thurmond, those people, even Adolf Hitler, Mussolini. Can you really call yourself a non-racist or anti-racist and support those guys? I don't think you can. I don't think it's possible. What do you think? You think it's possible to support those guys and call yourself anti-racist? I don't think there is a way you could.
I don't think so either, because once when you are racist against people, you're always an evil person, you're always a fool, and of course you're always dumb if you are racist against any color of race. And once when you are racist against any color or race, as far as I'm concerned, you are going against not only the First Amendment rights, but you're going against a group of people. You're also going against God and the Ten Commandments, because when you become racist against any color or race, you are not love thy neighbor as one has loved thyself. That's why racism violates the Ten Commandments for that reason. And it's now registering to these Republicans that support Trump that racism violates the Ten Commandments.
racism is wronger than anything you can imagine possible, other than maybe other than capitalism. It's absolutely it's just disgusting when you have incidents like
Charlottesville.
yeah,
Charlottesville torn
Charlottesville,
everybody's stomach.
even most of the January 6 attackers were racist and were part of that neo-fascist look. It shows how they are there to say and be wrong, and I think it's right.
The good news is they're finally gaining on
Okay.
Donald Trump's terrorist network. And of course, they're arresting all the Donald Trump's terrorist network, which is great because they deserve it. The murderers. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And nobody can stand a terrorist network. A terrorist network kills off a group of people off the face of the earth. And as far as I'm concerned, if we wipe up a group of people off the face of the earth, it causes problems, and not only people are dead, and not only people are dead and it causes problems, it hurts the planet. Now, let me tell you, for example, let's just say you're outside the church and you killed innocent people. You do that, you just violate the
Like
tank.
Dylan Roof, the Charlestown shooting.
Yeah, like Dylan Roof, the Charlestown shooting. Before the terrorist attack in Paris, France, that was evil as hell. And if you like kill innocent people outside the church, that just violates the Ten Commandments. But if you do it inside the church, it's cursing God. And it's now registering to these right wing people that it is cursing God if you do it inside the church. And it's not cursing God if you do it outside the church, but violates the Ten Commandments. Because you got to think about this. Once when you kill somebody and they're innocent, you can't bring that person back. Yes, you can ask God for forgiveness, ask God for a second chance or a third chance. But even if you do ask God for a second chance or a third chance, still, you can't bring that person back if you kill any innocent person. So that's the most you can really do is ask God for forgiveness, repent. That's the most you can really do if you kill an innocent person. There's nothing else you can really do other than that because you can't bring the person back. Now, just recently, speaking of a terrorist network, the Taliban has gained more territory in Afghanistan yesterday, and the Taliban is getting ready to plot attacks in Afghanistan, of course, in the Middle East.
Yeah, and I think now British troops are now trying to evacuate British citizens. Obviously, U.S. citizens are trying to be evacuated by American troops, or at least there have been calls for them to leave the country. Look, it's absolutely, was it the right decision to withdraw from Afghanistan? Absolutely, it was the right one. Because it would have led to more troublesome. It could have led to more problems in the region, more attacks, more deception. It really would be just problems everywhere. It would be problematic as hell, but to do so. And yes, you were going to make a point.
Of course I was. What we need to do is destroy all these terrorist networks, whether it be by airstrike or whether it be by just bombing them, because the terrorist networks are going to keep on killing innocent people until we destroy them. Even Osama bin Laden showed that too, because President Barack Obama back in 2010, he killed Osama bin Laden because he attacked us on 9/11, and he had no reason to attack us on 9/11. It's as simple as that. And that killed 3,000 people. Marjorie Taylor Greene, before she was impeached January of this year, lied saying that 9/11 was a hoax. Actuality, 9/11 was not a hoax. It was real. It's all on tape. All you gotta do is watch CNN, and they'll show them the planes hitting the North Tower and the South Tower and the Pentagon, and then somewhere in California. I forgot which place it was, but somewhere in California
Agreed.
too.
And when we try to behave like the right, we lose. And I think that's why I don't understand why some on the left, although it is small, actually do think that that the 9/11 attacks were a hoax. They really were not. And I think it's funny how cinema can criticize the left or try to for that on the centrists when she, at least at one time and now, was a 9/11 denier. And I think it's wrong that that's the case. And we got to push back against some of these conspiracy theories, like Holocaust denial, for example. That's an obvious one, in which people on the far right deny it. What do you do?
Oh, I'm sorry. I am kind of interrupting. I was looking at different papers that we got from free tabloids, which are on display at different stores and all. And I brought some home, and I was in the kitchen area, and I happened to notice it. Next thing I know, I was looking at the next one, and then I brought it in here. I was looking, and I noticed that I did come in here, and I just.
You got spunk.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah. Now we read about stuff and find out.
I don't.
There are so many things. Okay, you go across your city, any city, but we'll talk about that, such as this city, New Orleans. And there's a lot of printed material hanging on the bulletin boards, hanging on windows. You have booklets you can take or leaflets, and it's amazing. It covers everything from, buying apples at the grocery, all the way to, just that type of, information outlet, to get you, to learn about.
When going to be.
You're going to what?
When going to be moving to Florida, by the way, next year. So
yes, next year, springtime.
We'll be doing this show here in the city of New Orleans.
And when we get there, we'll be doing it also, right?
I hope in the city that everyone is watching, masking up, because we love everybody in this world, except maybe Trump supporters, but actually there are a few maybe who are people but there are just some that are intolerable, like Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy.
One of the things I want to tell you is that we're going to be moving to St. Petersburg, Florida by springtime of next year. And one of the things I want to tell you is when we move to St. Petersburg, Florida, we'll have our own show too. And of course, everybody that's watching across the war, I wanted to tell you. I hope that everybody across the world turns this pandemic around, get the death rate down to zero again, get enough people vaccinated, mask up, stand 6 feet apart because not enough people are fully vaccinated
Absolutely,
yet.
stand 6 feet apart and stay together, because we all need to come together as one, and do as much as we can to stop those who divide us every day. And those people are the wealthy, the 1%, and racism with vitriol, with evil. They do this all just to prevent workers and the public from coming together and passing things that would be good for a better for society. And that is what this does, and that's what they do. And we need to push back. Us on the left, we need to push back against those people.
I'm looking at one of these write-up things done in comic form, and it's of course based on the virus. And the little kid asking mom, "Is the virus over yet?" And he said, "I hate the virus. When the virus is over, can I hug Sarah? Might I even kiss Sarah? Then I take my mask off. No one else is wearing a mask. Why, Mom?" And then, "Sweet, how sick are you gonna let me get? Don't be foolish. Stay safe for everyone's sake. Please. Thank you."
Okay, we're gonna take a commercial break. I'll be back, everybody.
Yeah, we're going to be taking a commercial break. We'll be back, everybody, after those messages. No. Okay, welcome back into the Commie and Liberal. No, not really.
I'm looking at the papers, reading and everything, and we've only how long have we lived here?
We lived in New Orleans for a year, and of course here almost a year.
So we're going on 2 years of being in here, and so much information that is available for to pick up walking down city street, leaflet here, newspaper there, and something about reading. Of course, we know there's bookstores, such as of course Barnes and Noble here, and we were just realizing there's other type of books, comic media. There's a place over on Calhoun Street called Crescent City Comic. You have to check on the hours to find out there. But they do books, comics, media. Also, there's a place named Octavia Book. It's on Octavia Street. I just happen to, I'm just saying it just because it's awesome. That, there's some type of place to get stuff, entertain you, get you enlightened, and things like that. Let me excuse myself real fast. I'll be back. There's something I'm going to tell you about. Period. Go ahead and talk.
Yes. Okay, continuing today with the vaccination rate. The vaccination rate for at least one dose up to 59.1% right now. Now I haven't found out yet about the fully vaccinated, but the one dose 59.1% is
The
full.
Commie is back. Yeah, so communism went out and worked everywhere it went. That is something.
Hi there. Hey, I'm going to interrupt again. What I want to get, we were just there a couple days ago and all that.
Yes.
What it is, it's a bookstore, real nice bookstore. Just moved across the street from its old location to the new one, and they buy, sell, and trade, and they have upstairs, downstairs. That's how big this place is. It's on Oak Street. It's called Blue Cypress Book.
Okay, let's not promote.
And I'm just, of course, I'll leave it up to you to find out what you need to with the hours and, that type of days they're open. But I'm just so excited about reading. Let me calm down. I'll go back to my son there.
Well,
by the way, I wanted to tell you that there are, of course, lots of bookstores across the United. I'm still talking. By the way, first of all, I wanted to tell you, earlier today, on the CBS Morning News, they talked about Andrew Cuomo's resignation because he resigned yesterday after sexual harassment misconduct in New York City at the governor's mansion. And of course, he decided to resign so that way he won't get impeached. But the good news is they have a new governor, and this one's a woman. This will be the first woman governor in New York history.
Kathy Hochul.
Kathy Hochul's her name, and she's a liberal Democrat, by the way. And of course, she's not going to support all of her counterparts, Andrew Cuomo, but she will, of course, help the state of New York out. And that's what, what's her name again? I forgot.
Kathy Hochul.
Kathy Hochul. So Kathy Hochul is going to help out on everything with New York State. Now, another thing we want to also get at, so to let you know, is COVID-19 is impacting people's mental health.
Yes, I have schizophrenia myself, and I have to say that COVID has impacted me in a way that I haven't seen in a while. And I think we need to all look into ourselves and say, what the hell is going on? And we have to look up at ourselves and just say their best days lie ahead, but only if we decide to trample the capitalist system that we have right now.
Well, hey, what we're facing, all of us, is death, doom, and disease, murder, malice, malcontent, killing, corruption, chaos, sickness, suffering, psychosis. And it's just, we need to band together, move ahead and not behind. And death, we need to get it under control the best that we can for everyone, regardless of where you live, who you are, what you do. We all need to get together and step ahead.
And so to let you know, everybody, as you're watching, COVID-19 also has impacted my mother's health too, and
It has,
and of course, my mom has, of course, bipolar, depression, and anxiety, and because she has polar depression and anxiety, she thinks that there's a dark cloud following her, and that's one of the symptoms, I tell you, of bipolar anxiety and depression is a dark cloud following you. And as far as I'm concerned, my mom's been having that problem for 15 years. But it has gotten worse as the years went by, and especially the coronavirus pandemic made it worse too. Because if you have mental illness and you're in the middle of a pandemic and that mentally ill person is seeing people die, as far as I'm concerned, it's going to have an effect on that mentally ill person.
Yeah.
With me, back when I was younger, before the pandemic, I had ADHD and autism. And my brother Trevor had ADHD and autism as well. And those are the type of mental illnesses we had back when we were younger. We got over them, but it took a while. It took 3 years to get over our ADHD, a year to get over our autism. And now, of course, my brother has schizophrenia, and of course, my mother has bipolar depression and anxiety.
And it's going to take a long time for Trump to get over all the legal fantasy that he's gone through, because now an impeachment lawyer calls for a quote criminal investigation into Trump's conduct leading up to January 6th. Well,
And I'm glad that
Yeah.
there's going to be an investigation on leading up to January 6th because something has to give.
well, the House is investigating with its committee, but he's calling for a criminal investigation. And I agree that there needs to be some type of criminal function in this era, because we were broke out the rigged system that we have are the total reason why Trump has not been arrested. Sorry for a second, we're having technical difficulties. Okay, we're back. Our connection was going a little downward now, but we are back. If that happened, I apologize. But the thing is Trump has been defying the public for the past 6 years, and I think it's shown in how it's been, and with his connection to the Colombian drug cartels, who helped. This is just one example of criminality. They helped finance the Trump Tower in Colombia, the Trump Organization's branch there. It shows that this happened all the time, and we need to do our best to really look into those problems. What do you do?
He's reading about what's about COVID-19 of advertising directory.
Oh yeah, I'm just looking at stuff when you guys are talking. Of course, I'm listening and putting my 2 cents worth in. Maybe worth a little more than that, but we'll say that be a little humor. But it's right what you're saying. Trump has done so much, and it's bad. It's bad. What do you call it? We start with all the different things with running the government, how he did the wrong way. But I don't even think about that.
Yeah.
The thing I think about is death.
Yeah.
I think about the virus. I think about here's this man named Trump. You give him lots of advice to do this, do that, do that, do this. People have died because of that. Adults as well as teenagers and children. Come on, the guy is not someone to follow. The guy is not. Don't let him get away with it. You people who are in his party, step into it and pull him out, put him down. He needs to go to jail. He needs to. That is the most deserving place he is, and then he'll be in the judgment time to decide where he'll go after leaving our planet.
Well, the impeachment lawyer's name is Daniel Goldman, who served as counsel for the Democrats in the House Intelligence Committee and questioned witnesses. He appeared on Tuesday, he appeared on Deadline White House, which is Nicole Wallace's show on MSNBC, where Goldman is now a legal analyst. And this comes in the aftermath of former acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen telling the Senate Judiciary Committee on Saturday that Jeffrey Clark, who was serving as Trump's top environment lawyer at the Department of Justice, tried to get the DOJ to call on Georgia to investigate his 2020 election results for possible voter fraud. Goldman said there should be a congressional and criminal probe of Trump's conduct ahead of January 6th, which we just called for ourselves. Should there be a criminal probe into Trump? Absolutely. I think they should have it.
Absolutely, there should be a criminal probe against Trump because Trump killed people, because he incited the violence. He's in on it, it's on tape. Another thing I also want to tell you is Donald J. Trump also refused to file his income tax from 2001 to 2011. He committed tax evasion, but it's not just Trump that committed tax evasion. His children committed tax evasion too, as well as the whole Trump organization. The Trump organization did not file income tax for 15 years. The Trump organization did not file income tax from 2001 all the way to 2016. Donald Trump's children did not file income tax from 2001 to 2016. That's 15 years. That's more than 6 years. They're guilty of tax evasion since they didn't file income tax for more than 6 years. Because when you go on the Google search, it tells you the laws with not filing income tax. When it becomes to not filing income tax, there's a law stating that the most you're allowed not to file is 6 years. If you don't file income tax for more than 6 years, you can get penalized and be charged with tax evasion. If you don't file income tax for more than 5 years, they can freeze your bank account. If you don't file income tax at all this year and decide to wait until next year to file, they're going to take 20% off of your taxes. If you file late, they'll take 10% off of your taxes. If they take 10% off of your taxes, that's $235. If they take 20% off of your taxes because you didn't file at all this year, it's $435.
A little over an hour down. We have less than 2 hours to go. This is the Commie and the Liberal. Again, I'm Trevor Williams. I'm the Commie.
And I'm Perry Williams. I'm the Liberal.
And I'm the father,
William Taylor.
Yes.
Hey, let me mention this. We're in hurricane season right now, and I'm thinking about Fred. Over.
It has nothing to do with politics.
I know it doesn't, but the thing it has to do with politics. It's just something that's so important that needs to be said. Remember, always have provisions. Have a plan. Clear storm drains. Be prepared. Get ready. Hopefully we'll have a wonderful year getting through the storms. But just want to take a minute to say that. Go back to politics, of course.
I hope the next hurricane won't be as disastrous as Trump's handling of the Puerto Rico crisis with that hurricane.
That would be a beautiful country added to our state. But Trump is not doing anything to rightfully help them along.
No, he didn't do anything at all. In fact, if anything, he was guilty of negligence. He name calling the San Juan mayor. He did all sorts of those crazy, just inconsequential things that he could uh, uh, to try to. Uh, it should be more upon the president to do things to help the people, not the a few. That is what the Puerto Rican crisis really was, and it was bad to say the least.
Another thing I want to tell you what Trump did with Puerto Rico back in 2017 was chaos. Trump refused to help the people in Puerto Rico when the hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico.
Yeah, he didn't do anything to help the people when it hit Puerto Rico, the Hurricane Maria. And he didn't really do anything when it came to Hurricane Harvey either in Texas. He did do a little, but it wasn't enough, and he neglected people's lives, and it shattered people. And I think it showed how wrong it is that those people are there and still struggle.
One of the things I also want to tell you is that for those people that refuse to listen to Dr. Fauci, they're fools. And the reason why they're fools because they're killing themselves when they don't listen to Dr. Fauci. That's why people are fools when they don't listen to Dr. Fauci for that reason. They're looking at their deathbed right now when they don't listen to Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, they certainly are not doing their best when they go around and decide to neglect themselves the way they do. And all those people who aren't masked up, they are putting themselves at risk every time, single time, and it's wrong, and it's something that we need to take a chance and just go ahead and mask up, because that is what is going to work in this country and abroad.
Now, if we get people to mask up, I wanted to tell you it would save people's lives. And when people get vaccinated, it will save people's lives as well. It's as simple as that. Another thing I also want to tell you that earlier today, there was a person, of course, that does, of course, politics. I wanted to tell you that does it in the morning live, and of course it's called the Majority Report.
Yes, Sam Cedar
Sam Cedar.
does that show. I like watching it. It's, by the way, if you are watching this, Mr. Sam Cedar, know that you are a coward. You're not a good guy. I'm kidding. Uh, I got that from you. Um, you're a great commentator, and it is right to say wrong.
Oh, by the way, another thing I wanted to tell you that for those people that that believe in of course patriotism. I wanted to tell you people of course can go ahead and watch the show, but if people don't believe in patriotism, they might as well not watch on the show. Patriotism means of course Patriot Day, you know. And the reason why we have Patriot Day is because of 9/11. The holiday came out in 2002, Patriot Day. It came out a year later after 9/11. Patriot Day hasn't been announced a federal holiday yet, but that's the next holiday we would like to have, which is federal, would be Patriot Day.
I do like the country, I just don't like the system of which we have.
The system is a bunch of bullcrap.
It is that is exactly what capitalism under everybody is.
Hey, I'm looking at something that pertains to the history of the area here. It's only a few miles from New Orleans. Uh, it's the Woodlands Conservancy Trails in Belchase. Peaceful paths where armadillos hop like rabbits. Uh, the highlights of the trails, though, has to be more decidedly, decidedly more graphic of 10 eerie concrete bunkers equipped with metal blast doors. These chambers themselves were used in World War II when we were worried about the attack on our main country. Uh, it's roughly 3,400 acre naval ammunition depot. You get a chance, you might want to take a look at it. I'm not going to explain what I'm seeing on pictures, but there's pictures available, showing the buildings and all. The depot site takes up just a few square miles of semi-royal Louisiana, but it played an outside and sometimes unusual role spanning several eras of U.S. history. That's just a comment about history. I've always been into it and all that. Always been some type of habit of gathering all types of information.
Another thing I wanted to tell you that they have this thing called schizophrenia NYC, and schizophrenia NYC has to do with people that have their own webcam live streaming show
Yeah,
on
please
YouTube
contribute
that
to that.
that has schizophrenia.
Yeah, please contribute to that because it's right to help those who are most vulnerable in our society, and we should be helping the mentally ill, the economically challenged, and other and if we do our part in helping each other, and we do that by opening up our minds and our hearts to each other every day. And that is why we must and should help those people out. So, yeah, I would support this a lot.
By the way, one of course, one of the whole political side, the liberal and the communists. We of course are paying tribute to schizophrenia in NYC, and of course, if you are watching this right now, those people that have schizophrenia, what you should do is subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Commie and the Liberal.
Yes, I think everybody subscribe to the channel, watch. I would like for that one viewer to come back and just be together as one we can. And so,
By the way, we're gonna go ahead and set up our Patreon account um, this week, and I wanted to tell you as soon as after
when we do, please contribute $100 to the channel. We would like that very much. Thank you to our viewers for doing so. But we still have a long while to go. We have an hour and 43 minutes to go. So here we go. Our father has a story to tell.
Yes, I'm looking at the readings I have to my availability, and I love the words. Yeah, let's make it all throughout the country and the world. Let's rock again together. As go with that music, walk side by side, dance side by side, enjoy the memories of such greatness of artists, and definitely enjoy by yourself and as well as in gathering.
So we don't know how true it is, but Sarah Palin could be running for Senate in Alaska. What does everybody think about that?
I think, of course, what everybody thinks about that is Sarah Palin is somewhat, of course, on the moderate side, and Sarah Palin is somewhat on the conservative side too. So I think what I think about Sarah Palin wanting for senator of Alaska, I don't know. I don't know if it would go over or not, because she's somewhat conservative and somewhat moderate.
Well, Alaska is an interesting state because it sort of straddles everybody. It sort of has the left, right, moderate. It's generally Republican, but over the past 30 years, it's gone to the left. It's shifted some. So that's interesting. We do have some breaking news. Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, has been named in 2 lawsuits. Quote, DeSantis does not have the authority to threaten school districts, unquote. And that's their way of trying to push back against DeSantis, is threaten that he will take funding from school districts, and not only do that, but he's tried to intimidate teachers by saying he'll take away their pay if they require mask mandates in schools.
Mask mandates are the greatest for helping people. Stop being foolish. Stop. I don't want to use the words that want to come out of my mouth, but right now I am pissed. You gotta keep endorsing the use of mask. It keeps people alive. Once it's good to know you're going to step another step after the one you just stepped because you've been listening and you've been following the good advice of just regular people as well as doctors and nurses and politicians and all. But your neighbor has something to say about it. Your family member, everybody. So let's walk side by side.
Yeah,
Very
and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, released data showing the state broke records with 21,683 new cases of the virus in one day. That's just one day. So, what do we have to do to create a better way to have this mass?
What we need to do with having this mass is issue of course a vaccine mandate across the country. Now, vaccine mandates are finally going to go in effect across the country, but only for indoor spaces. But otherwise, this is why we need a vaccine mandate, because too many unvaccinated people, whether they have a mask on or not, get COVID-19 and they still end up dying. Mask does protect you from getting COVID-19, but not as good as the vaccine does. The vaccine, I'll put it to you this way, protects you against COVID-19 more than, of course, social distancing and the mask does. The mask is only 85% effective against COVID-19. Social distancing is only 85% effective against COVID-19. Vaccine is 100% effective with the booster shots against COVID-19. So the booster shots 100% effective. Second dose and first dose are now 100% effective. Second dose, only 42%. It went down by 53%. That's lousy, No wonder why we're having these breakthrough cases. The effectiveness went down
because the effectiveness went down big, and it shows just the type of irresponsibility coming from those who are supposed to be in charge of us and who are running this state and country. It's really bad. And if you look at the amount of people who are vaccinated, they're lowest in Republican states, with the exception of Nevada, which is Democratic, and another state. But still, it shows just how Republicans, they need to get themselves straight, and they need to stop doing this type of attack on each other and on the country, because they really are moving on.
By the way, one of the things I wanted to tell you that these Republicans, is as far as I'm concerned, yeah, of course, these Republicans, as far as I'm concerned, are fools for, of course, telling everybody to put the vaccine out too soon. Dr. Fauci said they sure waited until 2022 to put the vaccine out because it takes 2 years for a vaccine to be at least almost 100% effective. And yes, it was almost 100% effective when it only came out after 9 months. But if the effectiveness went down by 53%, and it's for numerous reasons. Not putting the country on lockdown, lifting the mask mandates too soon, not enough people fully vaccinated, not standing 6 feet apart, but until enough people get vaccinated. See, every time the Republicans behave that way, they're flushing themselves down the toilet.
Yeah,
And that's the problem right now.
And they are spending anti-vax theories, and they're spreading the big lie about the election. Quote, "You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. I have plenty of proof. I have proof in Arizona, Pennsylvania, and Georgia," unquote. That's one Republican who tried to heckle another one who actually told the truth about who won the election. And it shows how wrong it totally is. But let's not spend the entire show talking about that, because we have other news.
I have something, I was looking about, reading about, of course, we're talking music, rock and roll, that type of stuff. We got to realize a lot of life and music is sad and angry at times. But it's okay to jump around and be silly and goofy. You don't got to be angry all the time, okay? Think how we can just mellow. We can just walk hand in hand and hug our neighbor, and always say, love is the answer. So I just figured I'd throw that in there.
Yeah. A federal judge rules Devin Nunes, who of course was the House committee chair, I believe on intelligence, who made a big name for himself during the Trump Russia scandal. He's suing the Washington Post, and a federal judge rules his lawsuit against the WAPO can continue. I like how I say that. WAPO.
Pretty good.
So
pronunciation.
Yeah. Nunes complained that the newspaper would describe some of his theories as baseless, and that previous Post reporting indicated some of those theories were indeed correct.
By the way, what we need to really do.
I think it's hodgepodge.
What about hodgepodge?
The whole law. The whole
some of these people, I have to admit, that are with Trump deserve the lawsuit because they had no business breaking these laws and committing murder. You know, that's why they deserve the lawsuits for that reason. Another thing I want to tell you is, of course, earlier today we got some new news on the wildfires. Um, we just had more wildfires, of course, in California and Greece and Turkey just yesterday, and it burned another 400 acres of land, and it put 100,000 people on the streets. They're homeless right now because of that, and it's very crazy.
Yeah, it's sad. We don't have that many news items today, um, but we will try to talk it out. Um,
Yeah, we don't have that many news for today. So since we don't have that many news for today, we're just gonna talk it out or talk about other stuff. Since we don't have that many news today. So now, since we don't have that many news today, we're going to move on to
more-
sports.
no, yes. I do want to quickly mention a few things. Boris Johnson, more than half of Britain say Prime Minister has done a bad job quote, leveling up. Teacher cries as she quits in front of Virginia school board considering more inclusive transgender policy. Plymouth shooting, number of fatalities in serious shooting incident in Keyham, that's in the in England, and Lindsey Graham urges vaccinations after UK troops sent to get Britons out as Taliban advances. But here's what Lindsey Graham said, quote, would have been a lot worse if I didn't get the shot. So even Graham, who previously was anti and not anti-vax, now he's part of the vax community. So that's great. And
by the way, as we move on, of course, to sports, they're gonna have the New York Yankees game tonight. It's the Chicago White Sox versus the New York Yankees right here on Fox.
And where are they playing?
They're playing at New York.
If I remember correctly, I saw something about Kevin Bacon this morning. Not Kevin Bacon, Kevin Costner. Sorry, I mixed up the names. Kevin. Yeah. But anyway, about Kevin Costner. And it was talking about the baseball movie he was totally involved in. He starred in, and they were grouping together to have some type of music concert outdoors. If I find out more information about it, I'll let you know. But it might be available, I guess, over the airwaves. So have to find out.
politics is a serious sport. That much I'll say.
Politics is a serious sport because it's between good versus evil, and of course, liar versus the truth. And the people that, of course, lie about the evil things as well as the good things. Actually, they didn't do that. It was themselves that did it. It's of course a major problem, and of course it's sports is politics too, and politics is a sport too.
No, it isn't.
Always, of course, thought that the communists said that politics was a sport.
That's not what I meant. I meant that politics sometimes can evolve into a sporting like contest.
Just like the Honda Sports Test with Liam McHugh, that involved with politics in 2016 when we had the Orlando nightclub shooting. Liam McHugh brought up on the Honda Sports Test in 2016 that we need to get rid of guns. And the reason why we need to get rid of guns because it's killing people. June 12th of this year marked the 5th anniversary of Liam McHugh's political press conference on the Honda Sports Desk at the Stanley Cup final from 5 years ago. You can watch the footage on YouTube, the Honda Sports Desk, and you will see what Liam McHugh had to say about gun violence 5 years ago. Because the same day they had the Honda Sports Desk was the same day the nightclub shooting happened. So, and Omar Mati was the guilty one. So,
Right, Omar Mati, which is part evil.
Omar Mati, by the way, he's a pig, by the way.
Oh, he's certainly is.
Because he's a murderer. He killed innocent people inside the nightclub, and it wasn't necessary.
Yeah. Well,
another thing I wanna just tell you with sports. Speaking of the Honda Sports Desk, the NHL lost the rights to NBC July of this year. They had a final farewell video of the NHL on NBC.
narrated by Doc Emmerich. What's his name?
Hey, I just happened to remember something just by what Trevor was mentioning vocally and, of course, peering off. I remembered the name of the motion picture I was thinking with Kim Costner. It's called Field of Dreams. Very, very wonderful movie. Of course, it's fantasy, but wonderful way about sharing how life can just turn around and be so wonderful.
Disney to pay NHL $350 million for stake in streaming tech platform. That seems like a lot of money there, and that's what we need. So please contribute to our channel.
And when you do subscribe to our channel, please donate $100 to our YouTube channel. When you do subscribe to the YouTube channel, there's going to be a YouTube fundraiser donation of $100 to our YouTube channel. So each of you people, make sure you donate $100 to our YouTube channel when you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, another thing with sports right now is the NFL preseason games start tonight, but it doesn't list it on the TV guide. And the reason why it doesn't list on the TV guide is because preseason's never listed. Because the TV guide doesn't care about preseason. And nobody cares about preseason, so that's why, of course, the TV guide never lists preseason football for that reason. Moving on to the National Football Conference in the NFL.
Seahawks, quote, not budging from 4 years, $70 million contract offer to Jamal Adams.
That's a lot of money for a Seattle Seahawks player. Now, moving on.
Excuse me, I was going to say Russell from with Seattle Seahawks, the quarterback. He can use
Russell Wilson.
He can use all the help that he could get. To move the city, improve the team like it needs to be. Matter of fact, that's my team that I favor all the time. So of course I'll be out there cheering. Perry will be cheering the Dallas Cowboys, and my son Trevor will be cheering the Pittsburgh Steelers, and me, of course, like I said, Seattle Seahawks. So.
Another thing I also want to tell you that I'll be rooting for the Dallas Cowboys. Now I have something to say about Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy was not good at all. He was a bad coach back when he was with the Green Bay Packers. And what happened was Mike McCarthy and Brett Favre did not get along well. And of course, that was back when Brett Favre was with the team. Of course, Mike McCarthy is now with the Dallas Cowboys. And of course, since he's with the Dallas Cowboys right now, well, Mike McCarthy is somewhat good since he's with the Dallas Cowboys. But he's not a totally good coach because he raises his voice too much when he talks to people. So that's why he's not a totally good of a coach, but he's somewhat good of a coach with the Dallas Cowboys.
I remember when he was fired from the Green Bay Packers, and it took such a long time for it to be hired by anybody. This is the first time he's been hired in like 1 year, when everybody expected him to be picked up right away. So really, to say the least, he definitely has some issue. And I think the Cowboys, Dallas, really should recognize this.
As for Pete Carroll is doing pretty good as a coach because he has his defense on his side, and Pete Carroll, some defense of the Seattle Seahawks, plays pretty good, by the way. Now, moving on to, of course, the American Football Conference, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Can I interrupt for a second, if I may? I was going to say the thing that Dallas needs is Jimmy Johnson. Hear that? Hey, you listening? Jerry Jones? Jimmy Johnson. If he can bite his lip and and not give any, cause any ruckus, but work together as a team. It's amazing what you guys put together back when you took over. And I just recently seen you together on a pregame. And I was impressed. I could tell there is still some chemistry there left to be used. Jimmy, why don't you do it? It'll be the greatest welcome back in years that people will be waiting for. Okay.
Yes, it could be, but you have to wonder: is Johnson's a little old for the position? I know.
I think he could put up with it for 1 or 2 years. That's all they need to finally win. The first year would be getting everything rolled out. The second year will be the opportunity. Could happen the second, happen again
Sorry.
the third. Then it's up to Jimmy if he wants to leave or not, or try doing it over and over. But like Trevor, my son, said, age does matter. He may be tired, and just that's enough. And we respect that. But hey, we sure like to. What a dream that would be.
Yeah,
Another thing is I want.
just like it's a dream of the U.S. winning in basketball at the Olympics. Not really.
Another thing I wanted.
Where's Mike? I miss Mikey, man.
I miss Michael Jordan myself. He was a good basketball player.
I don't follow basketball anymore. Not since Mike left. So
You're not supposed to say that.
Well, I'm sorry, but since Mike left, I left, and that's I did that for a little bit with football too, but then I came back in. So maybe I'll come back with the basketball. I don't know. Future can be full of surprises. I'm a big track and field person, gymnastics person, stuff like that, and no tennis. Definitely the tennis. I'm sorry, the time for the main pro athletes throughout every different sport. Like you had to finally hang up the cleats, and that's it.
Another thing I also.
This is like the fun half of the majority report.
It is. I'll put it to you this way. I support, of course, Sam Cedar from the Majority Report, and
Don't we all?
yeah, all of us do.
Except those on the right.
Right, that's true. Sam Cedar from the Majority Report is a good reporter, and he does a great job of going against Trump and his Republican fools that are with Donald J. Trump.
Yeah. So in other in news, Kawhi Leonard signs 4-year contract with Clippers. That is interesting. So tying himself to the franchise long term, it's a 4-year maximum contract. So do you think this will have any impact? I think it certainly would. But do you think it will have much impact on the Clippers?
I think it would have an impact on the Clippers.
Yeah. Be right back.
All right. Hey, to let you all know, not trying to promote things for any special reason. But I'm just kind of curious. The thing I was looking at, we got it from. We live over. Well, we won't tell you, but we live like over towards the. What do you call it? Canal Street area around Carrollton. And anyway, one of the stores there that we happened to go in, we won't say name, but had a free leaflet booklet, and I started reading it from back to front. That's right, back to front. I do that a lot of times instead of front to back. I don't know, but anyway, the name of the thing is called the anti-gravity. Which is a booklet, full of stuff, and it's pretty fascinating. I didn't go over some things because it's not the right time to, talk about certain things pertaining to certain uh, happenings throughout the city. But this book, as well as lots of other books, we got what Inquirer is called or something. Um, you know, is amazing what you can get, out there in public. Keep your eyes focused. You run into a store, a convenience store. It might be right there, right as you enter, or outside, right when you go. Or maybe a record store, a bookstore, or something. Or it could even be, big things such as, larger, like Walmart or something. But when you see one, hey, take it out of curiosity. I've done this a few times. I was kind of disappointed through the years since I've been growing. But a lot of times you find surprises. A lot of times it puts a smile on your face in a lot of ways. So, reading, something you should never stop doing.
Yeah, Trump never read a single briefing in his life.
I believe from what I hear, he paid for his papers. From college days, high school days, that type of thing, and letting other people do it for him. I don't know if this is true, but chances are it'll be snake eyes roll the dice.
Chances are, right now, everybody rolls the dice, and when you roll a dice, it can be good, it can be bad. You don't know what you're going to roll the dice to. It's simple as that.
So what do you got going there, Trevor?
Well, what I realize is this. I think it's wrong to be on his day, which makes no sense at all.
And not making much sense and all that.
Xbox.
Oh, Xbox. That's what you're talking about. Well, we're out Xbox shopping. Checking out today and tomorrow. Xbox can be a lot of fun. Could teach you a lot of things. Teach you how to have fun. Because it is so enjoyable.
It is.
And some things really amaze you. We want, with different type of, things it's involved in, whether it be, walking dead people, or it'll be some type of spook type, or it'll be, playing sports, football or whatever. And it can lead to quite a few fun opportunities.
Yeah, it could, and especially for those who do Canada.
And of course, one thing he always enjoyed a lot is music, so which is pretty good. But nowadays, of course, everybody listens to the music separately. The regular radio stations, they're there and they're good, but it seems people, kind of tend away from them. So and all that. Sorry to hear that. But you want listening to music or television or whatever, commercials. Cut the
Yeah,
stuff.
here in the
Cut
U.S.,
commercials.
we have too little commercials. That's something I always think. that's another problem that we actually didn't touch upon this yesterday or on the first day, but consumerism is another problem, a byproduct of capitalist heterogogy. Uh, uh, demagoguery. In countries like the UK, they actually regulate the amount of commercials per show. So there are only like 5 commercials, for example, per program. We need to have that here in the US. The FCC, which doesn't do much of anything.
Well, it would be,
Should.
excuse me, it would be real
Yeah.
nice if with these commercials also they would have them at the beginning of the program or the after the program, the end of the program, and the rest in between just stay with what the program, what you're watching at that time, instead of having to be interrupted. So.
Yeah, and that's how everybody should have it when it comes to commercials. Either show it at beginning of the program or the end of the program, so that way you're not being interrupted. Because if you show commercials in between the program, you're gonna get interrupted, and that you don't want. Because if you get interrupted, you could lose viewers.
True.
Now, especially on radio, like I was saying, getting back to the laptop program and all types of stuff, which is fun. We're stuck on rock and roll a lot, which is a great stuck on thing. The old rock, the new rock, the in-between rock. Some of the rock we don't like. We'll be honest with that. But most of it we.
I don't like a lot of mainstream rock, 70s rock.
I like 70s,
I prefer
80s, 60s.
I prefer
50s,
punk rock.
All the way to the mid 90s. And then music got away from me. So,
I prefer punk. A lot of 70s rock, mainstream rock was overproduced.
I don't think it was
And
overproduced because they
was.
were great singers.
Again, that does not excuse those people from overproducing their material.
well, hey,
And they do.
just give me a day after day of Bon Jovi, Rolling Stones, the Beatles, and we could add from that too. But oh man, it's enjoyable when you're there enjoying the tunes playing and all that. And yes, you do sneak a little dance step or two to go along with it.
I'm sorry for wearing the same shirt as yesterday, by the way. Okay, we're close to another hour down. One more to go. This is the Commie
And the liberal
And
And
the
the
father.
and the father. And we're going on hour 3 on the show here. We got one more hour to go right here on YouTube, and that would be it. The final hour of this on YouTube will mainly be about the course of music and of course horror movies.
politics.
We ran out of stuff about the news, Trevor.
I sure
We actually
I
have.
sure love to step into that record room and put on good old I forgot who I was thinking about. Oh, Jethro Tull, man, you talk about rock and his.
They are so overrated.
They're a great band, Jeff.
They really are not.
Hey, by the way, one of our favorite songs from Jethro Tull, of course, is Aqualung,
Aqualung.
It's a great song, Uncle Lung.
Oh yeah, just about every one of their
It's
songs.
it's a
Great.
10-minute song. It's very long.
Okay, now it's time for the final hour.
Don't forget
The show.
Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin is also a good one too, because Led Zeppelin
The best rock
sings some
bands.
great rock and roll music.
The three best rock bands in history are the Ramones, the Sex Pistols, and the Clash. Those are the three best.
For that style of music, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
for that
for
style
that.
of music, yeah.
No, for
The best-
rock history.
the best-
Punk was the best iteration.
The best
of rock.
rock and
Plus,
roll.
it made much more difference.
Hey, you want to know something that shows that it's real? Like we were told, you made your comment, I made my comment, I made it, and they all don't match. But we kind of figure it all out.
Yeah, we kind of
Just like
do.
our listeners out there. And everyone figures out what they want to really listen to and what bits and parts of things they've heard that pertain to them or don't pertain.
So, Democrats lost in Texas because the state legislature passed two things. One, they have the Abbott, the governor, now has the authority to arrest the Texas state Democrats who fled the state because of the voting bill. And the other thing they lost on was that same bill, which was a voter restriction, passed. And this is probably some of the worst voting restrictions since Jim Crow in the South and North, by the way, but especially the South.
And the South is more on the Confederate side than it is on the Union side.
Obviously.
And as far as I'm concerned, even though slavery is over right now, which it is, the South is still more on the Confederate side than the Union side.
Yeah, there are still some people who have glory, supposed glory to the former Confederacy. It's sad. These so-called neo-Confederates.
The bad thing you got to think about, that type of thing happen is it still does, because you just got slavery, sex slavery,
Yeah.
older people slavery.
Those are the type of exploitation we see in capitalist country. In a lot under capitalism, we're all being exploited and screwed by our economic billionaire overlord masters. It's sad, and it's something that we really need to deal with.
Pardon me.
And I think we should do better and can do better. And that's my transition to a socialist system.
I had a dream last night. I was dreaming about stuff, and because we were watching this movie that we saw just recent. What's the movie on Saturday?
Oh, Saturday. I forgot what it was called.
I don't know what you're talking
Well, Spenguli.
Oh.
Yeah. People know what that name means. Spenguli. Anyway, we're watching, the show. The one coming up is going to be House on Haunted Hill, which would be a lot of fun. I've seen it many a time. keep seeing it many a time.
Right. I'm sure you'll talk more about this on your own channel.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Let me
Horror
save
movie.
that comment for.
No, it's fine.
Good. Thanks.
You can talk a little, but let's also not lose sight of the fact that this is a political sport show, and not necessarily for music.
Oh well, hey, then talk about some politicians and whatnot and all that. They're just like I see on the Spanguli show, walking zombies. Yeah.
Some
Don't know
are.
where the hell you going, what you doing, and not giving a damn about people except to get a vote. I'm sorry.
Like this, like moron DeSantis,
Yeah, DeSantis,
Yes.
Abbott,
Trump.
Trump.
Trump's a Trump.
Mayor
Victor.
Taylor Green.
yeah, Victor Oyabun. To somewhat maybe.
I wonder if we'll ever get an answer by the ex-vice president. Will he kind of finally come clean?
Yeah, I don't think, because you do have to wonder. He actually threw him under the bus.
It sure looks that way.
He really did. Trump, after his supporters at January 6th, they yelled, they chanted, "Hang Mike Pence." They literally said that. And they said other bad things about him. They literally could have killed him. They were looking for blood. They were out for blood on that day.
I tell you, so let you know that all, of course, of the people that
They
all,
wanted revenge.
of course, they wanted revenge.
Well, Trump was incited everything.
He did.
He totally
And
incited.
now Mike Pence's political career is basically over now because Republicans are never going to vote for him now.
And we have hundreds of thousands of people that are dead now because of a guy named Trump.
Yes, and it's so unfair. And I'm going to tell you,
Please don't forget what he did. Please don't let him get away with it. Please show that we're America. We're different. We're leaders.
We're supposed to be.
And we care about our own people.
But yeah, it shows just lie and deceit. We see it all the time.
Well, we're seeing some problems. Throw this on the table here, even though we don't have a table right here. But, well, what about the Mexico, the border, the people dying there? Some are able to get over. You know, we're here to be kind to your neighbor, love your neighbor. These are things we're told back when we were little kids, as well as a lot of other things.
Be kind to one another.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I think that is.
And then another thing, let's talk about this. The American Indian. We owe them a lot. We owe them. We'll always owe them. African American people. We owe them a lot. We'll always owe them. Things were done wrong, not the right way. We need to improve.
we need to improve the whole planet as far as I'm concerned.
We really do. We need to recognize issues like environment, catastrophe, destruction, is being ignored by the five dictators, Netanyahu, Trump, Bolsonaro, Duterte, and Oyaban. Those five are five of some of the most authoritarian, horrible people to have ever come to power in their countries. And I think it shows that they need to be removed from office, and Trump is no longer in office, so we won't count that. But he will run. He will run again in 2024. It's pretty much obvious to me that he will run. So I think because of that reason, we have to make sure he doesn't make it into the White House again. And we also have to make sure that the other four lose power in their own countries, because they're promoting a fascist alliance in those countries there.
You know, it's a dream, which is sure to heck be nice. What I think about is Mr. Biden, regardless president, how many terms he wants to, run, serve for. Wish him the best.
We need another war on poverty.
Well, I was thinking what we need to do after President Biden is moving on later. Of course, the vice president takes over as the first woman vice president.
Yeah, that's if he close.
And you know who I would like for vice president? A woman named Hillary.
That won't happen.
It's two women process. Let me mention this. We have the United States. There are more. Finally, it never was this way before, but there are more women.
They're actually about the same.
But the women are outdoing it, with the number by a little bit. If every woman that was eligible for voted, you could get them in. No problem. No problem. Come on, let's go the easy route. Let's get there. Let's stand in line. Let's pull that thing. Hillary.
Hillary Clinton. And Kamala Harris.
That's right.
And those are the two women that we will want them to be president on, because we need a woman that's president and vice president, and not just a guy that's president and vice president.
And guys, we need to finally share that opportunity. We're holding back too much. Don't let your pride get the best of you. And a woman is a person.
We need someone who understands policy, understands struggle, and what people are going through. And as good as it is to have change, we also need to vote for someone who actually knows what to do. Bernie was the guy who knew what to do. And I think he would have been the best choice for president. And Hillary is too much of a moderate. She
changes though as a Democrat.
We can't guarantee that
changes
she would.
on the liberal side.
She has so much honor, the honor of the American woman, the American way. So
again, we need someone who knows policy better than anybody.
Trevor, just because a woman is going to be going in office does not mean that that woman does not know policy.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that about her or about policy. I'm just saying that she doesn't know the ins and outs of power. And not only that, but she is deeply unpopular. She has a 33% approval rating. Bernie's the most popular politician in the US, according to polls. So, again, that shows you who should be the right choice.
Well, why don't we have it that Hillary goes with the vice president,
and Kamala is, and I hate to say,
Bernie be the third guy
this
looking in, to help.
No, we need a communist government.
And also
we need a democracy.
Having Hillary,
government.
you're going to have Bill Clinton in there. Bill Clinton.
Communism is democracy.
Good advice
because
giver.
It gives the power to the workers, a share in of the proletariat to the working class. That is why communism is democracy. And the problem is Clinton would just return things possibly back to the 90s. What her husband did, and her husband is one of the main people responsible for the crash of 2007 to 2009.
Well,
and those policies that Bill Clinton implemented were policies normal of a republic.
Hillary Clinton's husband, as far as I'm concerned right now, nobody has said anything about him causing the stock market crash from 2007 to 2009. And even if they did, nobody heard what they said back at that time.
That's the thing. People need to pay more attention. We can't have a society where nobody is paying attention to what our leaders do. When they are allowed to do whatever they want by themselves, they will end the response of everybody.
Bill Clinton was really well with foreign relations and all that. As the years went by, his wife ended up becoming Secretary of State, and she was so good with foreign countries. To have them on
Most
board,
people don't think that.
Have them on board would help tremendously. Just the thought of...
Name one example of Hillary Clinton doing something good as Secretary of State. And don't mention Libya, because that country was destabilized under her watch.
The good thing about Hillary with that is she's willing to work with Bernie and vice versa.
No, we're not looking... If half the country was centrist, maybe I would say that, but that's not the case. So she represents centrist politicians. No, that was of a bygone era, and so for that reason, I don't think it would work.
Well, time will tell. We will see what happens. We have
Maybe her career isn't over, but at the same time, it really seems like it could be.
It could be, yeah. It would be up to her. If the people show her that they really do want her, I'm sure she would step inside.
One of the things I wanted to tell you, viewers, if you're watching, if any of you viewers believe in First Amendment rights, you can watch the show. But if nobody believes in First Amendment rights, you might as well don't watch the show. Now, I'm going to tell you something about people now that don't believe in First Amendment rights. People that don't believe in First Amendment rights, especially with our motto, of course, is a sewer. And that's
Are we
the
really going to attack?
and that's the problem when
You just
people,
attacked it.
especially of course, and especially according to
We don't
wives.
know.
I don't know.
Well, she
Names-
keeps telling me different every day.
Okay.
I'll say this: it's my First Amendment right to call Ron DeSantis a moron. That's my right because he is, and he would say the same thing about a left politician who did the opposite of what he did.
And it's most
So-
definite okay for me to call Trump a chump because he sure the heck is.
Yeah, so
And he embarrasses the chumps of the world.
that is what I will say.
And what I wanted to tell you that Donald Trump, the chump, as far as I'm concerned, he's been trying as much as heck to rig the election. And he's still doing it to this day. He's not giving up. Every day when you watch the news, you will see, of course, Donald J. Trump lying and rigging the election.
I don't think we got to the Texas Democrats in the Texas
No,
Senate.
we gotta do it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I
we
don't
went
think
off
so.
topic. The Texas Democrats, who now could be being arrested, does this, as I think it does, smack of authoritarianism that Abbott that is could now literally arrest those Democrats who are just trying to uphold democracy and democratic values by stopping this oppressive voting bill from passing the state legislation.
Yeah, they'll try a lot of different ways, to cause the problem, not fix it. So we have to be ready for it. To keep an eye on the Democrats, that are involved in the situation.
Well, let me clarify something. I like Clinton, but over Trump. Trump is absolutely worse than Clinton, by far.
Well, Hillary should have won the darn election.
And yes, you could
It
say
was
that.
fixed in a long run. We're talking about fixed by international means, fixed with people here in the United States itself. It was not a totally fair play, and like it says, he thought he'd lost, but they worked it in such a way that he won it.
Hillary was better than Trump, but none better than Bernie Sanders. If Bernie had won, we would have free public colleges in this country. She would have only under him we would have Medicare for all in this country. Under her, we would just have either a continuation of the ACA or a public option, which does not go nearly as far as it could to help people. We need to keep in mind that 5,000 at that time and now 50,000 die every year from not getting access to health care. and we could have easily have gotten the right policy down if we had just supported normal, quality, universal, free health care in those countries, just like we have it in Norway, in Sweden, in Finland, in even Russia, in India, in Cuba, in France, Germany, the UK, Canada. If you look at the countries that don't have universal health care and they rank low, and our country is the absolute worst when it comes to healthcare prices. We have to spend $15,010 per capita per person in this country. That is unbelievable and unacceptable. And if we had Medicare for all, it would be free of charge. And that is something that Bernie has supported throughout his career and has fought for throughout his career. Did she do the same thing throughout her career? No. And if there wasn't a candidate like him in the race, I wonder if she would have evolved into supporting this position, because I don't think she will. But maybe I'll be proven wrong.
Hopefully, you'll be proven wrong and all that. Definitely, we need free education. Okay, another thing we need is we need free.
I like her, but you have to get a better perspective. And I think Bernie was the best one to do. I will say that she is not worse than Biden. I would support her over Biden if there was an election between the two.
Yeah, we could definitely do a lot of things with education being free, training being free. At different we call businesses across the United States. Train people. It's worth it. Instead of doing this long term at the the colleges, you can make it quicker to start it, so it's usable, and it'll move along at a better pace. Of course, the higher, the more in studied type of businesses, like a doctor, lawyer, scientist, stuff like that. Yeah, you would need extra training, but you could also do that as intern. So everything would be intern. It used to be. It worked. It worked. I was a little kid, but it worked. Instead of putting it so people gotta pay all this money to go do it and all that. And there should be no service charge for education, at least through the public. I mean, if the private schools, want money, want this and that. I don't know.
We should just do away with private schools, to be honest.
Go with the public schools.
Yeah.
It's a lot better. And then make the routine go from high school, continue on to college. It's we call grade 12 Next one will be grade 13, 14, 15, and just do it that way. All it is a continuation. What do you think about that?
Oh, very quickly.
Yeah.
The reason why I say quickly because, of course, it's the final 30 minutes of the show, and we have to official move on to sports.
Oh, sports.
I know we said that an hour ago, but
Field of Dreams. Aha, tonight. Good movie. I've seen it. Way back when. One of the better charismatic shows. God, it has Ray Liotta in it. A young Ray Liotta. Of course, it has Kevin Costner in it too, which is good. And and just let you know about something.
yeah, it's I believe on Amazon Prime maybe or Hulu.
Hula. Do you have to wear a hula skirt?
No, it's Amazon Prime. No,
No.
I know.
Hulu is a live streaming service that you
That's
use.
what it is.
You used to watch
I
TV.
thought it was the hula skirt type of thing. But yeah, I know. They got so many different things that you can check out. I get at a loss at times. There's so much to look at, and I find myself a lot of times more sleeping through it than staying up through it, which really stinks. So.
So
To let you guys know, I'm going to be doing the horror movie thing coming in near future. I want to set a date yet because I'm not really, don't have a permanent focus on it yet. But it's coming pretty quick.
the New York Yankees and Chicago White Sox are about to face off on the Field of Dreams.
Ah, yes, the game I told you
Over
about.
2 decades after the film made its debut, baseball is finally back, and Kevin Costner is a significant part of tonight's action that's going on right now. And thank you for choosing us over them. Right now. And maybe, I don't know what channel it's on, ESPN, Fox maybe, will be
Might be.
I'll watch.
Could find it on the internet somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we do have internet. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking to you right now.
Right.
So we got how many? 4? We got 4 of those babies.
Yes.
Laptops. So sometimes it's still not enough. So.
Cubs losing streak hits 8 games after getting demolished 17-4 by Brewers.
By who?
By Brewers.
By Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah,
Wow.
I used to have a Milwaukee Brewers shirt.
I'm ready finally for the Yankees to come back along and take it to the award box. It's been a few years without it. And hey, Alec Rodriguez, wherever you're at, we miss you, guy.
Yeah. Well, new Broncos GM George Patton tackles the toughest job, finding the right quarterback.
For what team?
I already said the
I didn't hear.
Broncos.
Oh, the Broncos. Okay, fun team. Oh, all right. That's kind of cool.
Man City winger Sterling will score even more goals with Grealish. Um, so to get back to Kawhi Leonard, who we talked about earlier, again he signed a 4-year contract with Clip. Obviously, Kawhi is one of the better players in the NBA. He once played for Chicago, and he won a gold playing for the U.S. team. What do you think about him being signed by the Clippers?
I think him being signed by the Clippers is no problem. The Clippers are a great team.
Yes, uh, they are not. They're okay. They're not necessarily great because they've had problems. Uh, oh, big news. I'm a little ashamed we didn't talk about this earlier, but uh, the one thing that DeSantis did do that was good. For once, he did something good. He ordered the flag's half staff in Florida for the late coach Bobby Bowden.
Oh yeah, Bobby,
Died.
we miss you, guy. Bobby. Oh, when I was growing up, right? When I had a chance to see some of the different coaches at the beginning of their careers, and Bobby was one of them, and it was amazing. His technique as a coach, his caring his players like they were family. Uh, he was just so wonderful. And with all that, you asked how many championships he did. He won more than one, that's for sure. And just a wonderful person. Really, really do miss him. So.
Bobby Bowden was great at no. He was great at everything. He was just a wonderful person, and it's said that he died so soon. Well, actually, he was 76, I think, or 80. But it's unfortunate.
Bobby Bowden died too young, I tell you. And I tell you, he could have lived a lot longer than 80 years young. 80 years young is too young to be dying, you know?
Yeah. We're like that. We think that any age is really young. But
When through the years and all that, I lived in Tallahassee for a little while, and uh, I used to go by the university. I worked with the I'm trying to think. Um, I worked with the uh, darn, I can't remember what it was. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, and got the B on Florida State's campus quite a few times, uh, and it was fantastic, because everything was geared in the city, promoting the Seminoles, the football team, along with Bobby Bowden. Uh, the whole city itself seemed like something out of a storybook. Field of Dreams, like they said they're having now. It could go down as one of the Field of Dreams stories about football. We miss you, Coach. Love you.
We all love you, Coach, and we miss you. And at least you're in a safe and better place.
Listen.
And at least you upstairs in the kingdom of heaven. Rest in peace.
I second that thought.
Trevor, coaches do go to heaven. Do you understand?
I said I second. All I said was that I second.
Okay, because nobody heard him.
Okay.
Defenseman Slater Koch rejoins Edmonton Oilers for 2 more seasons. NHL news. Seahawks not budging from 4 years. Ohio State quarterback Kyle McCoy loses black stripe.
And okay, we
Dodgers
got it.
Old girl has had wild few days since viral tackle.
We have an update on Tiger Woods right now.
He's doing well after car crash, but has not been able to play any golf. That was a quote.
Well, our hearts are with you, Tiger.
Yeah, all of our hearts are with you, Tiger Woods, and we hope that you get well enough to be able to play golf again. Because I tell you, getting into a car accident is a lot worse than just simply injuring your back. You get into a car accident, not only it kills you, but it causes a coma, it weakens your body, causes vision loss, injuries all over your body, cuts off your body parts, and of course all the glass and doors, and of course the whole part of the car goes inside your body, and that can kill you. So we wish you well, Tiger Woods.
Yeah, hopefully he makes a speedy recovery.
Yeah, because Tiger Woods was in a coma for 3 days when he got into a car accident, and he broke both of his legs. Almost had to cut off his legs because he broke both of his legs.
No, we really don't know the story too much on that. Well, we'll have to check back on it. I hate to say the wrong thing, and
No, that's okay.
I know people make mistakes.
So yeah, but you got to think that this might be devastating for the sport for golf.
Well, they said after Tiger left, it went downhill.
Well, yeah, I mean
Popularity.
the ratings have been okay, sort of. They really haven't been good since he's left, and I think that's a reason why that occurred.
I wonder how many games he happened to play against his longtime friend, Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan. Michael's a big, golf player, as well as, of course, Tiger. So it'd be amazing to see how close or apart
This
some
is
stores
something
were.
conservatives will talk about. The Cubs released Jake Arrieta after he told a reporter to take his mask off during press conference.
I'm not surprised because when people have the masks on, of course they can't hear what they're saying.
I know, but if they want you to keep it on, you gotta keep it on. So and that's why you talk loud like you're yelling. Still hear it. Might not be that comfortable,
Hello?
but it'll work at least. So,
You gotta be loud! Anyway,
you know what I was watching the show Dick Cavett. He's an old uh, interviewer, talk show host. Anyway, he had on his interview guy who could always talk your ear off if he wanted to. Real guy, wonderful person, Muhammad Ali. Oh, he had Muhammad Ali on, and it was pretty enjoyable. I guess the years were, I don't know, 1960, 61, 71 or 70, something. He was in between just leaving uh, boxing, because of legal troubles and all that stuff. We won't go into it, but just to see him, to listen to them talk, it was enjoyable, and we wish him well, Muhammad Ali. So,
By the way, Muhammad Ali, if you're upstairs in heaven looking down, watching this show right now, we are all sorry that you passed on, Muhammad Ali, and of course we wish you well upstairs in the kingdom of heaven.
yeah, I second one. I think he was a transformational athlete. He was such a great get to goer. He was absolutely one of the best athletes this country, the world has this ever seen. And boxing is not as well appreciated today as it once was, say, 20 years ago. Trevor Bear accuser edited her sexual assault injury photos and, quote, lied about having a fractured skull. So, Oilers, Chris Davis, or Orioles, Chris Davis retires effective immediately. So, yet another example of a wealthy contract in baseball being not being could ever there. Uh,
Well, it's time to take the commercial break. I'll be back.
Joe.
yeah, I remember back when, about a year ago, maybe two, I don't know. And I was looking at things on the internet. I got into looking at push the button boxing, pro boxing. I just thought I was going to glance at it, just think like, oh, okay. And but once I got in there, I couldn't leave it. It was so engrossing, talking about everybody from Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, uh, you know, Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, It's like wow, and it's such a sport that has such a history to it. And I was looking about uh, the different type of boxers through the years, and how many years a lot of them held the championship.
Usain Bolt officially challenged Tyreek Hill to a race, and the stakes are very high.
I'm backing our buddy Hu- Usain Bolt.
Usain.
Usain, I'm sorry, not Usain Bolt.
Kind of like you say voodoo.
Usain Bolt.
If you
Usain
watch
Bolt.
Yuki.
I got practice pronunciation that time. But he's one of the person today that I can see raising his two arms up towards the upper stratus for the greatness of winning. So, find any things pertaining to entertainment might be interesting.
Hmm.
Are you still on sports?
Yeah, well, we're still doing sports because it is the final half hour. But we have just 8 minutes to go.
Okay.
So,
Well, you want to bow out early, or
We could bow out early if we want, because since there's not that much time left, so we might as well bow out early.
no, we still have some time.
Because it says here,
minutes we got?
we only have like 7.5 minutes left.
Yeah. Well, anybody want to sing? Anybody want to dance?
He's in love with the rock and roll, whoa. He's in love with getting stoned, whoa. He's in love with Jenny Jones, whoa. He don't like his boring job, no. He's in love with the rock and roll, whoa. He's in love with getting stoned, whoa. Not really. He's in love with Jenny Jones, whoa. He don't like his boring job, no. And he knows what he wants to do. He knows he's gonna have fun with you. You lucky lady. And you know, really tell the boss exactly how he feels.
Unique.
He's in love with the
Yes, it is unique. It's the song from The Clash, by the way.
Yeah, Jenny.
Yes. Jenny Jones is one of the backup lead singers of The Clash.
She's not. She was actually a madam. And who was somewhat popular, and she actually had her own song. I'll play it if you want to hear.
I like to hear something out of Bon Jovi.
Yes, Bon Jovi.
Copyright issues.
Copyright.
Wow. But
it's no problem listening to Bon Jovi.
Or Stones.
Well,
No, it doesn't come after a certain time being around that you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah, public domain.
Like all the Beatles songs are public domain.
I don't believe they
No,
are.
you don't think so? I thought so.
Oh, they are. Okay, well, I take. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can hear. We don't even like prostitutes.
Who's singing?
It's
It's
Jones.
Oh, I'm sorry. The music was overwhelming.
Yeah, so that was the song she made right after the song of the same name, Jenny Jones, was made by the Clash, which was about her to a little extent.
Yeah, it was about her to a little extent, and that's what the Clash, of course, was mainly talking about.
Let's listen to this song. This is a good one.
It is a good one. This is with Paul Rudd and Jimmy Fallon, King of Wishful Thinking.
Yeah, I love listening to this song.
Here they are.
Oh, we don't have enough time to play the whole thing. We'll not play some. Hopefully you can hear it.
Yeah, hopefully everybody can hear it.
Thank you, everybody. It was a great stream.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good
Tomorrow.
We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, we will for tomorrow's edition of the show. It was good to have all of you. Everyone is great, masked up,
Social distance and get vaccinated and stay safe.
Alright.
I'm the Commie.
And I'm the liberal. And
I'm also the king of wishful thinking.
And have a great night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.